Okay, 7th grade students, today's lesson is about sports teams and acronyms, and it's going to teach you how to do some editing. So what you're going to do is you're going to log in to your Google Classroom, and you're going to go into your Computer 7 Hour 6 class. So when you're in Classroom here, you're going to find the Computer 7 class, okay? And so, what you're going to notice when you get in here is you're going to see a lesson like this. It says Lesson 2.1. And you're going to have some directions for you, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is click on those directions for yourself, okay? And you see how it pulls it up here and it kind of tells you what's going on? Because right now you're on your iPad watching this video, okay? But for these directions, we're going to be able to follow this, okay? And follow along with everything that we do, and it'll take us from start to finish, alright? So go up here to the arrow, and we'll click back for a moment. The second thing is I did all the typing for you in this lesson to save you some time. So you're going to click on this and notice how it opens a new tab up here for you. And you've got your lesson here, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to File and Make a Copy. Alright, you see how it says Copy of Lesson? You're going to click right here, right in front of the L. You see how you have a blinking cursor there? You're going to use the backspace key to get rid of the words copy of. So it just says Lesson 2.1. Click at the end, so your cursor's over here, and then do the space bar and type your first and last name. Okay? Type your first and last name. And here's how you put it into your Computer 7 folder. Mine's automatically there. You guys, it might say My Drive. So you need to click on it. And then I'm going to go back and show you what it would look like. But you'd have to find your folder maybe. Maybe you'd have to click on the arrow here so you can go to your drive. And then if you find your Computer 7 folder, click on the arrow here as well. And then you'd click Move or Select right here, but since mine's already in there, that's why I can't show it to you. But that's how you organize your folder and put all of your saved stuff in your Computer 7 folder. Okay, so we're going to hit OK. Notice how it opens up a whole nother tab for you right here, okay? You have a whole nother tab for you, alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and if you click and hold down and start dragging this tab, you see how it just comes out like that? This is gonna, and then it goes back in, yep, it's in, now I bring it back out. I'm gonna bring this over to here, okay? So I've given it its own tab, and I'm gonna click right here. So it's only half as big, okay? I'm gonna use this half of the screen for this, and I'm gonna put the directions up right here. So I'm gonna click right here to minimize this. They're both on top of each other, so I'm gonna move one right over here. And I'm going to move one right here, okay? Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to find my directions tab again. And I'm going to pull up the directions, and here they are. So now I can work on this, and then I can follow along with the directions right here. So I want you guys, I did steps 1 and 2 for you. Now here's step 3. Okay, we're going to start with step 3. So it says position your cursor at the beginning of the word. So the word sports acronyms here. If I want to select and highlight something, I go right in front of the S and I click and I hold down with the left mouse clicker, and I can highlight right over and let go, and that's all highlighted for me, okay? That's one option. But let's say I'm in the middle here and I want to just select the word football. I can do that. I can click again in the front and highlight just like this. But what if I'm doing it and I accidentally do this? Oops, I missed. Now I got to go back and do this. Oops, now I screwed up and everything's a mess. So I'm going to go up and use the undo button. Well, there's a better way. If I want to just select the word football, I can click on it twice. 1, 2. And it selects the word for me. If I want to select this whole line right here, if I don't move my mouse, I just hold it still, I can do 1, 2, 3, and it'll select the entire line for you. But you can't move your mouse. If you try to do it like this, and you're moving your mouse constantly, even a little bit, it won't do it for you. You gotta move it, put it perfectly still, and do 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that's step 3. Alright, let's look at step 4. It wants us to select the title. So I'm going to use the 3-click method, 1, 2, 3, and I selected sports acronyms, and it wants me to change the font size. See how I hover on this and it says font size? It wants me to change it to 18. Okay? There, that step's done. Now let's go down to B here. It says change the font of American Football Conference to Times New Roman. So same thing, I'm going to click here, 1, 2, 3. Now the font right now is Arial, it's called. This is the font. Notice how you hover on stuff, it tells you what it is up here. Okay, so you just got to hover on things. Always remember the undo button's right here. That's a great feature. So anyhow, change the font to Times New Roman. So I'm going to click here on font. And I have all these fonts, and they're in alphabetical order. So Times New Roman is way down here. And I click on it, okay? If you're ever in here and you can't find it, you can always click on more fonts, and you can go up here and start typing it. Okay? And it's not coming up, and the reason it's not coming up is because it's already in my system. But if you couldn't find it, you could type it in there, okay? So there, I did that, Times New Roman. Now it wants us to practice in step 5 using the undo button. So when I hit undo, it changes it back. And then step 6 says I'm going to hit redo. Puts it back to what I changed it to, okay? Step 7, continue to make the following format changes. So ESPN, it wants us to change it to size 18. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to change it to size 18. Okay? Change the font of International Olympic Committee to blue. So this time I'm going to go from the back here and I'm going to click and highlight so I get practice doing that. Remember, if you don't select the whole thing, if you just go to here and you stopped, that's not enough. So click somewhere else and then try it again and select the whole thing. Okay? So blue, it says I need to go to this letter A right here. So I can't see it, so I'm going to click on the more, and then I see the A right here. And this is the same thing, like here's red, here's light blue too. See, here's just blue, it just wants blue, so I'm going to choose blue, okay? Then it wants me to bold LPGA, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 and select it. And I'm going to go to this B up here, this bold. Okay. Major League Baseball, I'm going to select that. And it wants me to do the I, italic. Now remember, if I'm going too fast, pause your video so you can watch this. I'm going to scroll down some. I'm just using my wheel on my mouse to go up and down. Works well. It wants me to select NASCAR. So 1, 2, 3. And it wants me to underline it. So that's the U. They tell me exactly what they are. Then for F, it wants me to change the font of the NBA, so I'm going to select it. And it wants me to change the font color to orange, so I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to pick, it's called text color, I'm going to pick the orange, okay? And then I'm going to underline, it says, for the next step, the NBA. Alright, now let's go to step H here, okay? Clear formatting. So notice how I still have it selected, okay? I need to have this selected in order to do this. If I don't, it's not going to work. So if you forgot to, go back and select it again. But the clear formatting button is right here. It's like a T with a line through it. You click on that and notice how it gets rid of the orange and the underline, okay? So that's what we're going to do for step H. Step I, change the font of NCAA and NFC to Comic Sans. So we got to select both of them. So the best thing to do is start at the end of NFC, click and hold down, and then you can go right up to NCAA and stop right there. Okay? Try it a few times if you're having trouble, alright? If you make a mistake, use the undo button. But it wants me to change it to Comic Sans. So I'm going to look for that now. And here's Comic Sans MS. So that's what I want. I'm going to change it to that. Then, for the NFL, it wants me to highlight it and change the size to 8. So it's very small. Professional Bull Riders Association, it wants me to change that text color to red. Then it wants PGA, it wants it to be bold. USTA is going to be italics. Alright, now it says change the font of WNBA to 20 and change the font color to green. So two things. So I'm going to highlight it. It wants me to change the font to 20, but there is no 20. So on your keyboard, you're going to type in 20, 20, and hit the Enter key, and it does it for you. Then you're going to go up here to your text color and pick green. Okay. Then the last one for WWF, it wants us to bold, italics, underline, and change the text color to purple. So right here's purple, okay? Now step 8 says right here, proofread your document. So what that means is you're going to go right down to the end here, and you're going to look and notice how it has this right here. It has all the answers for you. So we're going to compare. The WWF is purple and underlined and italics, okay? And it's also bolded. The WM, does it look the same, you know? Does our document look like this? And if we made any mistakes, we need to go back and read again and see what we did wrong so we can fix them. But it looks like we did everything like we're supposed to. So we'll go back up here to step 8. And then we'll go to step 9, okay? Use zoom to increase or decrease the settings. Click the zoom drop down. So that's right here. You see how it's at 100%? We're going to go to 200%. You see how it got so much bigger? And then it says number 10, return your document to the original view by clicking 100%. So we'll go up here. We'll select 100%. Okay. So it wants us to do print preview, but don't worry about doing that. What it says now is disregard the rest of the directions. What I want you guys to do is to go back right here. Okay? You can X out of this right here. Now I can't show you on my computer, but you're going to have a way when you click on where you can open it, and then you can attach the document and turn it into Google Classroom, and we can help you as teachers with that, or other students if you know how to do it. But you're going to want to turn this in now so that way it can get graded for points. So let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.